James Helder, IFL TV, in association with MTK Global. I'm in New York City. It's been a massive weekend of boxing, but we'll come to that. Firstly, I'm joined by none other than DECLAN GERAGHTY. How are you, Dec?
Not too bad, James. How are you, pal?
I'm all right. How's your weekend been? Or your week been, rather?
It's been long. I've been here, I think I'm here 4 nights altogether, 5 nights, and it feels like it's 2 weeks.
Feels like a lifetime.
It's taking lumps out of me being out on that drink and partying so much.
I'll bet.
What you expect is Paddy's weekend, it has to be done.
Listen, we've seen so many.
I know you've joined in a little bit.
Way.
I know you've joined in a little bit, you know what I mean? Paddy's weekend, getting into the good old tradition.
Because I've been a bit sick this week. I managed to have one night out with yourself and stuff, and it made me feel 100 times worse. So thank you for that.
Taking lumps out of you.
Let's talk while we're here. The main reason, Michael CONLAN in action, making his professional debut against Tim Ibarra. How do you assess Michael's first outing in the paid ranks?
Well, do you know what? He said himself, I've seen one of the interviews with you, I've shared the ring with him, we've sparred him on a number of occasions, and I've boxed him before. And it's by fair, it wasn't by a great performance by him. Because he's so good, he can do a lot better, you know what I mean? He said himself it wasn't a great performance, but you have to take into consideration the pressure what's had to come in with that. So I'm sure it's a big weight off his shoulders. So now I'm sure as time goes by, you're going to see a lot better, without a doubt. You know what I mean? You see his real skills, his real talent.
I think you Irish guys are a bit more critical than us. I've seen Irish press absolutely slaughter boxers who have got the W, and I'm sitting there thinking, is it really that hard? I mean, from our point of view, I thought Michael's shot selection was very good.
Yeah.
I thought he took his time and controlled and looked for the gaps rather than rushed, other than the first round. But you guys are just pure critical.
I don't know. Like, listen, I believe I'm critical on myself because of the standard where I want to reach, and I haven't reached that standard by far. And I know it's helping. These performers are helping, but I'm sure it's the same with him. He knows what standard he's at, and it's not the standard. That wasn't the standard that night. But like you said, it's a big thing. It's a big event that night. He was fighting. So you can only move on to bigger and better things then.
CONOR McGREGOR. Having CONOR McGREGOR, he's probably one of the very few people that's transcended sport in the last, 2 or 3 years, shall we say. He's become as big of a name as anyone else you could imagine from any sport. What must it be like to have him coming out to support Michael, or support Michael on his first ever trip?
Fuck knows, I don't know. I didn't do it for me, so I don't know. But what I did do for me is that I actually seen him Friday night after me fight. Hello, big man.
Hello, DECLAN GERAGHTY.
I seen him Friday night after me fight. I was in Belfast. I came home, and I was on the way to one of the clubs. I rang up and goes, "Will you hold me 2 tables?" Like on the way in with a few friends. He goes, "Conor has upstairs booked off with him and 6 friends." He goes, "Do you want to?" I goes, "Hold on, I'm gonna ring you back." He rang me back and goes, "Conor said, will you come up to him?" So I seen him Friday night and went up to him, and the first thing he came over, gave me a hug and goes, "I watched your fight. I can't believe what happened. You boxed great. You know, I mean, it's a shame." And we're talking about, he goes, "You're very down about it." Of course I am. I was saying, like, I don't know what I'm going to do. Will I stay? Will I go? He was like, "Look, mate, I've been tapped out. And look what I've came back to do, you know what I mean?" He gave me great advice. And listen, that's the kind of person he is. He's a lovely man, you know what I mean? He's a lovely fella. And he's not one of these people, he's one of these people who wants to help other people, you know what I mean? What's so great about him, you know what I mean? He wants to see other people succeed. And that's what he did for Mick. He gave Mick a bit more publicity. Mick has a great exposure himself, but it's a different kind of exposure he's getting from Conor, and that's what Conor's had to do for him.
Let's talk about yourself. We spoke about it briefly for BoxNation. I know it's been hard for you to want to speak about it. It's been a bit of a shock for your system. I know how proud you are, and I know how seriously you take your career and what you're about.
It's tough, you know what I mean? Like, it's tough. I remember when first I wanted to speak about it, I wasn't ready to speak about it, and it's still hard to speak about. Even when people came over to me and asked for pictures, I'm still like saying, "What you asked me for a fucking picture for? I'm a fucking loser. I'm not the loser," you know what I mean? Or it's just a horrible feeling, you know what I mean? You're fighting on this stage in front of 1,000 people and I'm watching you, and you're picking up stupid losses, you know what I mean? And I'm here to make myself and my family proud, and I want to make my country proud, you know what I mean? And listen, we'll go back to the drawing board, and hopefully I can do that. And without a doubt, the only man who's at that, who has supported me the most, and the reason I still do what I do is because of Daniel, you know what I mean? He texted me straight away and told me he was proud, and he's sick that he thought his boxing brilliant and didn't think he should have been stopped, and we'll try to get the rematch, you know what I mean? Because he believes in me, and with the belief he has in me, it helps me believe in myself. You know, I do believe in myself, but knowing that he has the backing I have behind him, you know what I mean? He's not only that he's my manager and he's a great man. He's family to me, you know what I mean? Like he's like family to me, and he gives me great support, and I could never repay him. And only people who know him personally would say the same thing. He's done the same thing for Tom Stalker, you know what I mean? So Tom Stalker, we can't speak highly about the man, you know what I
Done
mean?
the same thing for us.
You know what I mean? You know, you met him, you know yourself, you know what I mean?
Yeah, apparently, according to the Sunday World, we know how reliable of a newspaper they are.
This is an exclusive.
Yeah, apparently they put a story in the paper saying that he was in Macy's shopping for boxers' pants. Did you read about that?
No, I didn't read that. No, I didn't read
Yeah,
that.
apparently this weekend he was in Macy's shopping for pants. I don't know how that's back page news, front page news, whatever. But apparently buying a pair of pants is newsworthy of the Sunday World.
There you go.
I was in the Sunday World in the Irish one the day after me fight, the 2 days after me fight, and he actually copied the tweet what I said and put it in, you know what I mean, about him. And listen, what I said was only praise him, so that was the good publicity for him, you know what I mean? But the man's...
I don't know whether buying pants comes under good or bad publicity.
Ah, it's fucking ridiculous. It's absolutely
But
ridiculous.
Sunday World, if you're
That
watching
newsworthy?
this, sort yourselves out. Who cares if the man has bought a pair of pants?
Front page. Daniel buys pants.
You know what I mean?
What is going on?
I'm not even getting into it. I'm not even getting into it. Do you know what I mean? The fucking... I see the shit what's written about him, and it's absolutely terrible. I know the man personally, and you know the man personally, and he's an absolutely diamond. I've never met more of a card and who wants to help you, you know what I mean? Than him, you know what I mean? He's an absolutely diamond, a lovely man, and he helps the boxers who are with him. The MTK are absolutely ground and ground and ground because of him and Matthew, and who know him personally understand how much he cares about all the boxers. He's not here to make money. He's here to look after the boys. You know what I mean? And there's not many managers who do that.
Before sort of the MTK involvement and a lot of this has been set up, a lot of my way of thinking is a lot of the Irish fighters were used as sort of opponents.
Yeah.
They weren't built up within their own sort of area. They were brought across to London venues at short notice to face guys that with winning records.
And I'm glad you got into that because I wanted to bring that up. It's different between Ireland and England, you know what I mean? Like, there's a few of us who turned over who won, like, it's classed as the ABAs, but we were on the Irish team, and first of all, we don't get the sponsors the way the English get the sponsors, you know what I mean? Different sponsors altogether. We don't get the exposure. Like, there's boys who had to turn over and they get a lot more exposure than what we get. And because of, as you said, we were always used to come over the hard for, like, a friend of mine boxed Felix
Cash.
Yeah, Jay Bourne.
Felix
And
Cash,
listen, he was brought over to lose, you know what I mean? And don't get me wrong, he didn't have a big pedigree. Jay Bourne came from a white collar to build up, to do a few little small amateurs and had to turn over. He's doing great for himself, and he's a lovely fella. But that's what happens if you don't have that. That's what has happened and will previous happen to other boxers. But with MTK, they look after you. Listen, they're not there to send you over to pick up the loss. They're there to pick the right fights. And listen, they picked me TENYYSON. Like, we wanted TENYYSON, and I was the right fight. It just didn't, for me, it didn't fall out the play. It didn't go to the game plan. But usually, the game plan for the MTK is they get the boxers, get them the right fights at the right time, and look after them and get them up until they're ready for them big fights instead of being used and abused. Like,
I just want to add about MTK. Obviously, you're talking about from sort of a fighter side, but from our side, and you can agree with me here, that without MTK, formerly MGM, I'd say there's a 95-96% chance that there would be no IFL TV either. Yeah. That's how. It's true. Would you agree with that?
I agree. I 100% agree with him.
There wouldn't be, because it come to that point where we were kind of doing what we were doing.
And it was only getting us so far.
It was only getting us so far. So without...
The bills just keep coming.
Yeah, of course, without a doubt.
Yeah, so without the help that we've had from MTK, and that includes everyone, Matthew Macklin, Seamus, Daniel, Anto, Sam, everyone, without them and without what they've done for us, there would be no... I'm confident enough to saying that me and him would have packed it up and we'd be doing something else by now.
And that the impact that we've had, or we think we've had in some respect of boxing, would have been nullified without that help and support that we got from...
The exposure you give the boxers, you know what I mean, is massive, and that's helped because of MTK, as you said, you know what I mean? The exposure what you give the boxers is... It can't buy, you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? So it's very important. It just goes to show you what kind of what kind of people they are, you know what I mean? They want to help, you know what I mean? And I believe that they're helping me. I believe they're helping you. So
Let's talk about getting back on the horse. When and how and what? How are you going to regroup and come back stronger from this, Deco?
get on the horse. That's what Daniel texted me as well. Straight away back onto the horse. The first text message I got off him, you know what I mean? I wanted to, my head's all over the place. Fuck this, fuck the boxing, you know what I mean? But listen, I think they'll have a show probably May or June, you know what I mean? End of May, June, they probably will, and say that's when I'll be back out, you know what I mean? So after this weekend, I'll go back training, you know what I mean? Sure, I'll get a clatter in the back of the head off Daniel if I'm not back, you know what I mean? So I'm sure he'll be in touch with me, and he told me when I spoke to him, that's when he was hoping to get me out. So listen, we're gonna go back to rebuilding stage, and hopefully maybe. Listen, I'd fight a big fight tomorrow, you know what I mean?
I know you
I'd
would.
fight a big fight tomorrow, I couldn't care, you know what I mean? I know how good my boxing is, so that's why I would do it.
Is the Tennyson rematch then a way of thinking? We heard that James Tennyson's manager Mark wasn't keen on an immediate rematch.
Well,
is that a
yeah,
no-go
well,
then?
I don't think it's dead. I just think I'd probably have to get some sort of decent title for them to draw him in for another fight, you know what I mean? That's what I think, but listen, fuck him. I'm just going to have to go and work on myself, you know what I mean? And listen, whoever's out there wants to fight, if it's feather, super feather, lightweight, I'll take it, you know what I mean? And my team will pick the right fights at the right time, you know what I mean? I find that, how would you find it calling it MTK now, the MGM?
We're getting used to it.
Getting used to it.
I find it weird.
Why?
We're so used to saying it.
We are used to the MGM thing, but we are getting, because we sat probably more than anyone, because we sat at the start of every video. So we're probably getting, it's probably rolling off our tongue a little bit more easier and quicker than it would do most. But listen, in 6 months' time, we wouldn't, MGM will be a distant memory. So it's all about MTK.
Let's talk about the big news this week. Let's talk about his video with Conor McGregor.
Yeah,
Did you happen to see it?
Yeah, I did see it. What did you think about him? What do you think about his
Do you know
personality?
what? Me and Con, yeah.
Best mates.
Me and Con.
Hold on, I'll give him a ring up there. Do you know the Kilgan fella there by any
Me and
chance?
Con comes in, goes, big guy, ready for the interview? No. To be honest, I'm going to shout out Seamus Macklin for this, because Seamus promised me the week of the fight that we'd get something with Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Him being the biggest superstar in sport, period.
Yeah.
That's Conor, not Seamus, by the way. Seamus is second to that.
Even bigger than Tim Henman,
Yeah.
as we've discussed this week.
Oh yeah, we don't want to go into that, James. Seamus said he would get it, and after the fight, Seamus, like I said, delivered. That. Yeah, with Conor McGregor. Like I said, it was 3 minutes, but it was quite powerful. It's already had 500,000 views since we put it out yesterday, so that's all good. And I think me and Con, we clicked. I think yeah.
We're pleading for a couple of minutes of him and trying to sort it out. He's his best pal. He's
I
around his
know.
house.
I'm not his
We're
best
good.
mate.
You're
I
there
know
every
well.
day.
We have respect for each other, and he texts me, and listen, he's doing his own thing, you know what I mean? He's, what do you think the personality of him was?
It's just, it's crazy, because he was literally like that, how he was in the 3 minutes of the interview. He was like that for the whole time he was in the dressing room. But obviously, certain things can be filmed, certain things can't be filmed. But
he's a proper crazy Irish
yeah,
man.
he's definitely a personality. So
listen,
In fact, he said he's close to inking the deal, and then he sort of pulled
I
away.
think he
a
wanted
little
to
bit.
come in and
He
say
sort of pulled
something,
away, didn't
because
he?
he said, "Look, and he sort of pulled away.
Yeah.
But when he gets the 30 grand Rolex out, the 15 grand mink coat out.
listen, he's making serious paper.
I know.
And it's mad
Good
to
luck
think.
to him.
Listen, without a doubt, you know what I mean?
whoever.
Whoever's making money, why begrudge them, you know what I mean? Why not be happy for him, you know what I mean? He's the man came from where we're from. He came from the same place as near enough me and Phil Sutcliffe, you know what I mean? And it's a deprived upbringing, you know what I mean? What was he on 188 at one stage the dole, you know what I mean? And look what he has now, serious paper.
There's only one person I begrudge making any money. That's Paddy Barnes. Right? Paddy Barnes. If Paddy Barnes becomes he probably already is a multi-millionaire.
Doesn't spend it, I'll tell
He
you that.
doesn't spend it now.
I bought him a pint of Guinness before a mixed fight, and the cunt never bought me a drink back. He didn't. Patrick, he never bought me a drink back.
All that money
Fair,
you've
he's
got.
went to pay for it, and I goes, no, go on, you get me one later on. Didn't see
All
it
that
then.
money you got, Paddy. No, I'm only joking. It's good to
another
see
head case.
Paddy off the way with a couple of wins now, even though the first one didn't really...
Suplex gate.
Yeah.
I think it's just different at that loyal way, but listen, Paddy has that personality. He's out there without a doubt, you know what I mean? I think, listen, I'll give probably 5 fights and Paddy be a world champion.
I suppose it's the level of opposition
Yeah.
will bring out the better in Patrick Gerard Barnes, won't it?
Is that his middle name?
His middle name.
Fucking hell. I know him about 7 or 8 years. Personally know him, so I never knew that now.
Young Gerard.
Fucking hell. I don't know, it's like I said, I think 5 fights. He just needs a good run of things. Listen, he only had to have a baby, didn't he? Before the last fight, his missus was in hospital. Listen, so I'm sure by the end of the year, at start next year, he'll be fighting for a world title, you know what I mean? Listen to what he's achieved is unbelievable. He at one stage, they weren't even sending him to the World Championships, and he's the only one. He was a few years older than me, and they sent him to the World Championships, and then when he went, well, they weren't sending him, they were only had sending, I think, say the 11-man team, they were only sending 8, I think. He wasn't getting sent, and he was telling me himself, they ended up sending him. He's the only fellow who came home with a bronze medal. Went from there to do Olympic bronze medal in Rio, then London bronze medal. Like, it's unbelievable what he's had to do. WSB champion. So it just goes to show you a bit of luck and,
Commonwealth gold.
you know what I mean, Commonwealth gold. I remember him doing that national anthem. Did you ever see the national anthem of that?
I don't think I have.
Did you see the national anthem? Watch the national anthem. I think he was giving out, this is not my national anthem getting played.
Oh, I've said it. Yes, I have said it. Yeah.
Like, it's only Patrick
Took
who
me a
do that.
second. I have. Yeah.
Only Paddy would do that, you know what I mean? Absolutely a madman, and I'm a madman, so I don't know. I wish Paddy all the best. I'm sure things will go well for him, you know what I mean?
All right. Well, if there's anything you want to add, Kogan.
Yeah, I
before
do
we
want
go,
to add something.
Go on.
Whoever writes for the Sunday World, right, when you write exclusive on the top of the column underneath your name,
What about Heated Intense exclusive?
no, that's different because we're a couple of internet morons, right? But when you're writing for a national newspaper and you write exclusive and then the story is about a man buying a pair of pants, right, get a new fucking job. Because that's worse than our titles. Like listen, you lean in, right? You do a head to head, right? And it could be one of these, right?
It's Heated.
That's heated already. That's intense. That's beef. That's
moderate
murders.
beef.
That's everything,
Moderate
right?
beef.
But that's us. We are a couple of internet morons who go around covering boxing. We are irrelevant on the journalism scale. But when you're writing for Sunday World, right, and you write exclusive, man buys, which is basically the thing to the story.
The gist of it.
Man buys pants in department store. I'd sack him. Whoever that was, I can't remember his name. I'd get rid of him because, you know. But anyway, that's my thing about
I see
that.
the passion of him saying that, you know that? You look like you want to have a fight.
What?
Have you had any trouble over here?
Just like to say, the views of...
Let's not talk about this. Let's not talk about
Just like to
this.
say the
James, you
views-
don't want to talk about this.
Any trouble? No.
No trouble.
No
The
trouble.
views of Kogan Cassius do represent IFL TV. Thank you very much.
Cool.
Declan,
Good to see you. Good to
Thank
see
you very
I
much.
want to say the best of luck to Sonny Upton and Phil Sutler fighting for the titles. Phil's fighting on Josh Walton's card in Leeds, and Sonny Upton will be over there next week. He's fighting in Manchester for the English champion title. I wish both of them the very best.
Okay.
Alright, cool.
top
Good man.
Good man.